My chosen one, listen closely, for this message is meant only for you. Your body is not just a vessel, it is a sacred temple, a gift from God Himself. When illness casts its shadow upon you, it is faith that ignites the light within, guiding you to strength and healing. Feel the presence of the divine surrounding you now, lifting you, protecting you, and whispering truths to your soul. No sickness can overpower the power of God's love. Faith is your shield, and through it, you will discover the strength to overcome every trial. This journey is not yours alone. I, Archangel Michael, stand beside you, with wings of protection and a heart full of God's grace. Together, we will rise above the pain, embrace the healing light, and find the strength that only faith can provide. Are you ready to take this step of faith with me? My beloved child, I stand here before you, not as a distant figure but as a guide, a warrior of light sent to remind you of the power that resides within your soul. Illness, in its many forms, may come to test your body, your spirit, and your resolve. But know this, you are never alone. Faith, my dearest, is not just a belief. It is the bridge between your heart and the heavens above. It is the quiet strength that whispers to your weary soul, you are loved. You are seen. You will overcome. In your darkest hours, when pain takes hold and fear threatens to overwhelm, faith becomes the anchor that keeps you steady amidst the storm. Have you ever felt the warmth of God's light upon you, even when the shadows of illness loom large? That is faith working within you. It comforts, not because it denies the reality of your suffering, but because it reminds you that suffering is not the end. Your trials are but a chapter in a story woven by divine hands, a story that is far from over. When your body is weak and your spirit falters, lean into faith as you would into the embrace of a loving parent. Let it cradle you, filling you with a peace that surpasses all understanding. Faith is the voice of God calling to you through the chaos, saying, "Be still, and know that I am with you." Do not fear the uncertainty of illness, for every tear you shed is caught by the hands of heaven, and every prayer you utter rises like incense before the throne of God. Your faith summons the strength of angels, and I, Archangel Michael, stand ready to fight alongside you. Your battle is not yours alone. It is ours together, shielded by God's unyielding love. Healing does not always come in the way you expect. Sometimes it is a mending of the body. Other times, it is the transformation of the soul. Faith opens your heart to this divine truth, teaching you to trust even when the path ahead is unclear. Through faith, your pain becomes a purpose, and your struggles become a testimony of God's enduring grace. I urge you to trust in the power of prayer, for it is the lifeline that connects your spirit to the eternal. Speak your fears, your hopes, and your desires, and know that heaven hears you. When you pray with faith, you invite miracles into your life, miracles of peace, strength, and healing. My beloved, illness may test your body, but it cannot break the light within you. Stand firm in your faith, for it is the armor that shields you, the balm that soothes you, and the light that guides you home. I, Archangel Michael, am here to remind you of a truth that cannot be shaken. Belief in God is your most powerful ally. It is not merely a thought or a fleeting hope. It is the unyielding force that binds your heart to the Creator's infinite love and strength. In moments of suffering, you may wonder, why me? Why now? These questions are natural, but do not let them anchor you in despair. Instead, let them guide you to a deeper understanding of God's presence in your life. For even in the throes of pain, He whispers to your soul, "I am with you." You are never alone. Belief in God transforms the way you perceive your challenges. It shifts your focus from the darkness of your circumstances to the light of His promises. God does not promise a life free from trials, but He assures you of His unwavering support. His love becomes the bedrock upon which you can stand, even when the ground beneath you seems to crumble. Every heartbeat, every breath you take, is a testament to His sustaining power. When illness threatens your body, belief in God fuels your spirit, giving you the courage to fight and the peace to endure. It is not a blind hope. It is the deep-seated assurance that the same God who created you has a plan for your healing and restoration. Faith in God ignites a profound connection with the divine, allowing His light to flow through you. This light is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It reaches into the depths of your pain, soothing wounds that medicine alone cannot touch. It is the light that reminds you of your worth, your purpose, and your strength. Do not underestimate the power of prayer, my dear one. When you pray with faith, you invite the heavens to move on your behalf. Your prayers are not empty words. They are cries that echo through eternity, drawing God's grace closer to your life. He hears you. He sees your struggles. And through your belief, He works miracles, sometimes in ways you can see, and other times in ways that unfold slowly, like the dawn breaking over a long night. Belief in God does not erase the challenges you face, but it transforms them. What seems insurmountable becomes an opportunity for His glory to shine through. Your journey through illness, though painful, becomes a testimony of faith, resilience, and divine love. Remember, my beloved, that you are never fighting alone. I stand with you, shielding you with my wings and wielding the sword of God's truth against the forces of despair. Together, we will rise above this trial, not by human strength, but by the boundless power of God's love. Do not let fear be your master, for within you resides a strength greater than any trial. That strength is born of faith, a faith that connects you to the eternal power of God. You may wonder how faith can sustain you when the body feels weak, when every step forward seems harder than the last. Faith is not an escape from your pain. It is the force that enables you to walk through it with courage and grace. It reminds you that your struggles, though heavy, are not meaningless. God is with you in every moment, using even your hardest trials to bring forth His glory and your growth. Strength through faith does not come from denying the reality of your illness. It comes from acknowledging that God's reality is greater still. It comes from knowing that the one who created the heavens and the earth holds your life tenderly in His hands. When you place your trust in Him, you tap into a reservoir of divine strength that never runs dry. In your darkest hours, when doubt whispers that you are alone, hear instead the voice of God calling to you. You are mine, and I will never leave you. This promise becomes your shield against despair. Faith does not eliminate the storm, but it anchors you securely, so you are not swept away by its fury. As you lean into God's love, you will find moments of unexpected peace, even amid the turmoil. That peace is a gift, a reminder that the battle is not yours to fight alone. I am here, standing guard over you, wielding the sword of truth against the forces of fear and despair. The strength you seek is not something you must create on your own. It flows freely from God to those who trust in Him. The stories of those who walk in faith through life-threatening illnesses are testimonies to this truth. They find strength not because their circumstances are easy, but because they draw upon a power beyond themselves. They trust that even if the road is difficult, it is leading somewhere beautiful, into the arms of God, where all is made whole. Do not measure your strength by the state of your body, but by the resilience of your spirit. Faith gives you the power to rise above the confines of illness, to see beyond the pain, and to hold on to the hope of healing, whether it is of the body, the soul, or both. When the weight of the world feels unbearable, know that prayer is not merely a ritual, but a divine conversation that connects you to the heart of God. It is in these sacred moments that peace enters, not as a fleeting thought, but as the steady presence of the divine, calming your soul and lifting your spirit. Prayer is your refuge in times of pain. It is a sacred dialogue with God, an invitation for Him to enter the deepest parts of your being. When you pray, you do more than speak words. You open your heart to the vast, boundless love and power of God. And in that space, peace is born. In your times of illness, when anxiety and fear seek to overwhelm you, prayer becomes the channel through which divine peace floods into your heart. It is in prayer that you surrender the burden of your suffering, releasing it into the hands of God. You invite Him to carry the weight that is too much for you alone. And in this surrender, you find not defeat, but strength. As you seek peace in your health struggles, I am here to remind you that prayer is not a distant act. It is the very foundation upon which healing can begin. God hears every prayer, and He responds with love, with comfort, and with grace. Let us pray together. Heavenly Father, Almighty and loving God, in this moment of struggle, I come to you with a heavy heart and a body burdened by illness. I seek your peace, the peace that only you can provide. Please surround me with your healing light, and remind me that I am never alone in this journey. Grant me the strength to face each day with faith, even when my body grows weary. Let your presence be my comfort and your love my shield. Help me surrender my worries and fears into your loving hands. Fill my heart with the assurance that you are with me, every step of the way. I trust in your plan, Lord, and I place my health and my life in your care. May your peace fill me, calm my soul, and give me the courage to keep moving forward. In your holy name, I pray. Amen. Trusting God when you face illness is not a simple act. It is a profound surrender of your will to His divine plan. It is the deep knowing that, even in the midst of pain, He is working on your behalf, guiding you through the storm and leading you to healing. When illness threatens to overwhelm you, the act of trusting in God becomes a source of unshakable peace, strength, and comfort. The pain you feel, though real, is not the end of your story. Trust in God tells you that there is more, that His love, His presence, and His healing are greater than the suffering you face. Trust allows you to see beyond the immediate, beyond the pain of today, to the hope of tomorrow. It is the lifeline that keeps you anchored, even when the waves of illness try to pull you under. When you trust God in your illness, you are not denying the reality of your pain, but you are placing it into His hands, knowing that He understands your suffering far more deeply than anyone else ever could. He who bore the weight of the world upon His shoulders also bears your burden, holding it with love and grace. In your darkest moments, trust in God's love allows you to find solace, knowing that He is with you through it all. Trusting in God doesn't mean that healing comes instantly or in the way you expect. The healing He offers may not always come in the form of physical restoration, but it is always a healing of the soul. It is the peace that passes understanding, the strength to endure, and the assurance that even in suffering, you are not abandoned. Trusting God allows you to hold on to the hope that He is working, even when you cannot see the path ahead. It is through this trust that you can find the courage to continue walking, step by step, knowing that He is walking with you. In the depths of illness, when the body seems to betray you and fear begins to creep in, trust becomes the shield that protects your spirit. It is the reminder that God has a plan for you, a plan of healing, of restoration, of grace. No illness, no matter how severe, can separate you from the love of God. When you trust in Him, you are reminded that His love is constant, unchanging, and unyielding. It is a love that will never fail you, no matter the trials you face. When you place your trust in God, you are not simply hoping for the best outcome. You are resting in the knowledge that He holds your future in His hands. His wisdom is greater than your own, and His understanding of what is best for you is perfect. Trusting Him means letting go of the need to control every outcome and instead yielding to His perfect will. It is in this surrender that peace is found. This trust is not an abstract concept. It is a living, breathing force that sustains you. Trusting God means turning to Him in prayer, in worship, and in the quiet moments of reflection. It means recognizing His presence with you in every moment, especially in those moments when you feel most alone. Trusting God is not about ignoring your pain. It is about allowing Him to be with you in it. It is about letting His presence bring comfort and healing to the places in your soul that ache the most. My beloved, when you trust God, you allow His love to wash over you in a way that the world's comforts cannot. The world may offer fleeting solutions, but the trust you place in God gives you a peace that remains even when circumstances do not change. Trusting Him gives you the strength to endure, the courage to keep going, and the hope to hold on to. Do you not feel His presence in your prayers, His touch in the quiet moments of surrender? Even when you cannot see or understand the reasons behind your illness, trusting God is the acknowledgement that His plans for you are greater than you can imagine. Through every struggle, through every pain, He is molding you into the person He has called you to be. It is in the trials that your character is refined, your faith deepened, and your soul drawn closer to Him. Trusting God during illness also means knowing that His healing power is not limited by what the world can see or understand. While doctors and medicine may provide treatments, it is God who is the ultimate healer. His power transcends human limitations. Healing may come in unexpected ways, sometimes through miraculous recovery, sometimes through spiritual growth, or through the deep peace that settles in your heart, even in the face of physical pain. His ways are higher than ours, and we are called to trust that His plan is unfolding exactly as it should. In your pain, know this: God is doing a work within you that you cannot always see or understand. Trusting Him means believing that this work is for your good, that it is part of His perfect plan for your life. His presence is a balm to your soul, soothing your spirit even when your body cries out. His love is stronger than any illness, and His peace is greater than any fear. Through trust, you find strength that is not your own. It is the strength that comes from knowing that God is your refuge and your fortress, your healer and your protector. It is the strength that flows from His endless well of love, filling you when you feel empty, sustaining you when you are weak, and lifting you when you cannot stand on your own. When you trust God, you are not simply coping with your illness, you are rising above it. You are allowing His divine presence to infuse your spirit, to guide your steps, and to bring peace to your soul. Even in the midst of suffering, you are not just surviving, You are thriving, because you are held in the arms of the one who loves you more than you can ever comprehend. Trusting God in the face of illness is not a passive act. It is an active choice. It is choosing to believe that no matter how difficult your circumstances may be, He is good, He is faithful, and He is with you every step of the way. Trusting God means believing that the pain you endure now is not the end of your story, but part of a greater journey, a journey of healing, of growth, and of divine restoration. There are times when the weight of health struggles can feel unbearable, and in those moments, you may wonder, how will I endure? It is here, in the depths of your trials, that I speak to you about the sacred strength found in spirituality. Spirituality is not merely a set of beliefs or rituals. It is a living connection to the divine, a tether to the eternal power of God that runs deeper than any physical ailment. When your body falters, your spirit can soar, if you choose to place your trust in the boundless strength of God. It is in these times of suffering that you discover a strength that is not born of human effort but of divine grace. Spirituality brings an awareness that your journey is not solely defined by the physical realm. You are more than your body, more than the illness that tries to claim you. Your spirit is eternal, connected to the source of all life, and through that connection, you can find a peace that surpasses all understanding. Even when your body aches, your soul can rest in the comfort of knowing that you are held in the loving arms of the Creator. When you face health battles, spirituality becomes the wellspring of strength that sustains you. It is the belief that there is a purpose beyond your pain, that every trial is an opportunity for divine transformation. Through spirituality, you find the courage to keep moving forward, not because the road is easy, but because you know that God's presence goes with you. The pain may be real, but His love is greater. The struggle may seem unending, but His peace endures forever. In your darkest moments, when fear and doubt try to take hold, spirituality is the light that guides your way. It is the deep-rooted faith that tells you that, no matter how hard the battle, you are not fighting alone. God's love is a force that cannot be shaken, and when you lean into Him, you draw on a strength that is far beyond human capability. Through prayer, meditation, and connection to the divine, you can tap into a peace that calms the soul and fortifies the spirit. Spirituality in the face of illness does not promise to remove the pain, but it offers the strength to endure it. It transforms suffering into a pathway of spiritual growth, enabling you to discover depths of faith and courage that would otherwise remain hidden. Through your trials, you come to understand that true strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to walk through it with faith, trust, and hope. And so, my beloved, remember this. Spirituality is not just a balm for the soul in times of peace, but a fortress in times of struggle. It is the sacred strength that helps you endure life's toughest health battles, not by erasing the challenge, but by giving you the courage to rise above it. Through your connection to the divine, you find the strength to keep fighting, knowing that you are eternally loved and never alone.